there's a song, actually, she had this cute song that I think she even does on her CD, because she did it at Encores and she fell in love with it, and now she does it all the time.
Okay.
And I think it might actually be a good song for you to use for auditions. When I'm proposing songs to you, or you're finding them on your own, I encourage you to find songs that are representative of who you are, rather than of how you sing. For that reason, I encourage you to find active as opposed to passive songs. Look at the first set of lyrics of any song you're considering. If you don't see I or me in the lyric, find a better song that's really about you and not about some state of mind. When I'm working with a singer on the interpretation of their music, I like to make sure they understand where the song occurred in the actual show it's from, and then I often say, in most cases, don't use that necessarily, use it so it's really personal for you. Sometimes I will encourage them to do a completely different interpretation of a song and turn a potentially tragic, sad song into a funny song by something to do, or vice versa, depending upon what you're auditioning for. And I'll take every line, I'll say, treat this song, treat it like you're singing to a speaker who doesn't speak English fluently, and take every beat and make sure it's really explanatory and works in the character. And if I ever see a part of the song where I go, you know what, I don't believe you there, and you're smiling, and I would not believe that character would smile here. One of the lines I use is, I think you should earn your smiles in an audition. As far as choosing lesser known material, or as opposed to well-known material, I think there's a fine line, and there's not a hard and fast answer. I tend to recommend to my students songs that you're less likely to know, only because I don't want to have you be the 10th person in any hour sing I Could Have Danced All Night, She Loves Me, Almost Like Being in Love. There's certain songs I call songs du jour, songs I know I can expect to hear any number of times in any given hour in an audition, much less any given day. And people say, well, when I sing that song, it's going to be completely different than anybody else has ever done it. And I'm like, yes, but I've still heard that song so many times, I can't even comprehend the fact that I have heard that song before. So I like recommending songs often that are known but aren't thought of. I bring up a song like Love Me Tender, the Elvis Presley song, which everybody knows, but we never hear in auditions. So I like coming up with songs that people go, I know that song, particularly with pop material, where there's such a wealth of well-known pop and rock material that we don't hear all the time, that I can sing to somebody and they go, I know that song, but we don't hear it. As you develop a book you feel proud of, you want to have at least 1 or 2 songs by people like Gershwin, Cole Porter, Rodgers and Hart, Harold Arlen, Leonard Bernstein, Irving Berlin, Sammy Cahn, Jerome Kern, Frank Lesser, Julie Stein, Strauss and Adams, Maltby and Shire, Cantor and Ebb, Sondheim, as many of the traditional Broadway composers of the 20s to the 90s, so you cover every possible category that could come your way, so that if they say to you, okay, we need a big band, 1940s, World War II, swing song, and you go, okay, I've got that Julie Stein song. We need a 1930s MGM movie song. We need a 20s Flapper, Charleston song. We need a turn of the century early ragtime song, which, believe it or not, has come up a number of times lately with my students. Or we need a 50s pop, 60s pop, 70s pop, 80s pop, 90s pop, rock through the decades. Think of every possible category, because you never know when you're going to pick up Backstage or get a call from your agent or go to Backstage.com and see an audition notice and go, that's perfect for me. I am that role.